Do they all have cards in?
I think they do.
Okay, then come on up. Why don't you stand up, have them come on up and stand behind you, and then you can just
Wayne,
take
I
turns.
think you should come up first. Gene, Bill, you come up next, and Irene, did you have something?
No.
No? No.
Okay.
Anybody else put a card in from Frog?
Frogs.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Well,
If you
first
can't,
of
when you
all,
come up, just say your names so that I'll know and I'll take the card out if it's in here. Thank you, go right ahead.
great.
Start with 2 minutes.
We are oriented toward, we live in Guerneville, most of us, but we're oriented toward the Lower Russian River, first of all, the whole area. I spent a considerable amount of time last night and the night before trying to go through your history and the budget, the packet for this, and it's a mess. It's a general mess of stuff in the general fund, out of the general fund. Nobody knows what the hell we're doing. And that's what I think you're wrestling with. But I propose a scratch and sniff test. Walk around the districts. I drove around the hills in Guerneville. Massive accumulations of dead trees, kindling all over the hills. So that's one of the things you're going to hear from us. We need a program to clean up before the whole area goes up in flames. And this has been passed, the buck has been passed around for years, and the agency involved is not doing the cleanup. So this is an emergency. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Wayne. He has a good list of all of the recommendations from Frog, and then we'll take it from there.
Come on up.
I have a copy for each.
Perfect, thank you, sir.
My name is Wayne Scala. I'm going to read this real fast. I've been a resident and business owner in Guerneville for the past 27 years, and on behalf of Frog, I'm presenting this. We are submitting the following items recommended for funding in West County. As you know, although we generate a huge proportion of the TOT taxes, we have for years not received anywhere near an equitable proportion. We respectfully remind each of our county supervisors that the West County not only entertains tourists from all over the world, a large number of our visitors are from each of your districts, and also a lot of them own homes on the river in the area. The lack of funding affects not only our improvements, but basic maintenance in our area. Reminds me of the story of the goose who lays the golden egg. Here we have the situation of an area that lays those golden tax monies, but fails to adequately maintain and feed that golden goose. And therefore, I'm requesting the following suggestions. And I know some of this is not, it's long-term, but it's visionary, and I think this board, by the way, 27 years, this is the best damn board I've ever seen, so congratulations, each and every one of you. It's been historically difficult times, and you've done an outstanding job, so thank you. An alarm, very simple thing, an alarm system for the fire and disaster alerts throughout our
Keep
area.
going, Wayne.
Extra minute.
Jeez.
He said that right before the ask.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go, there you go.
Yes.
I've been in politics for a while.
Freaking
Yeah.
well done.
But the siren is very, very important. You know the problems with the tests we ran over here with all of the dead spots and all that. Funding for a new fire department advanced cardiac care ambulance. Replace and expand all sidewalks and curbs within the 4x4 block of downtown Guerneville. We currently have huge eruptions in the sidewalk, trip hazard, handicap, impossible. I can't even get a sidewalk in front of my house, which is, it's on 4th Street in Guerneville, right across the street from the fire department. Professional trash pickup, I know that's an ongoing problem on our streets, on Main Street and Historic Pedestrian Bridge. Pedestrian crosswalk, flashing lights in 3 major intersections. I've lived there long enough, I've seen enough accidents and people crippled for life because of those situations, similar to what are in other areas. And a webcam webcam accessible to the public in police and fire 24/7, talk about citizens alert and being involved. Funds for clearing dead and undergrowth brush, as Mario pointed out. And lastly, requiring PG&E as well as all cable systems to install underground lines from the Fulton substation to the coast. Cutting trees, as has been done for years, is not solving the problem. We as a county and a community must lead in long-lasting fire prevention.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Come on up, man.
I work for some.
Yes.
Thank you, Wayne. Next is Gene Hansen.
Come on up, Chief.
Well, what else can I say? I mean, we need a lot more of the TOT money to handle all these little problems, and some are very big, some are very long-term, and we know that. I mean, tearing out sidewalks is one heck of a big expense and a commitment. And I know you have a lot of influence with other agencies, perhaps with Caltrans and agencies that should be minding some of these things, but can you lean on them? I mean, I don't know how you apply for these funds particularly. I mean, who do we even approach? I mean, is it you? Is it, who is it?
Well, that's why we're here. There's a
Yeah,
vast
well,
system
I
of
appreciate
different
that.
things hacked up.
Anyway, what we need immediately is the siren. We used to have them on the firehouses. We don't have very much cell phone access out there, and lots of our seniors don't even have cell phones. I mean, in my house, I'm very close to town. I have to go to the farthest corner of my porch and sort of hold my cell phone up like that to even get a signal. I mean, that's just not a way to warn me of anything. So we'd really like that immediately if it can be done. I mean, there must be funds somewhere. And the other things follow, of course, the trash pickup and the things Wayne went over are very important, but some are very much more long-term, and we realize that. And we do appreciate all your input. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Sir, come on up.
My name is Bill Jackson. I've lived in Guerneville for 15 years. I'm a retired assistant superintendent of business at Lincoln Valley School District. I was what was known as an outgoing accountant. When I met somebody new, I stared at their shoes instead of my own. I'm now on the board of directors of Russian River Fire Protection District, and I'm a member of fraud. I wanted to look at the numbers. I found it very easy to find that 40% of the TOT comes from the 5th District. I used your attachment B that we looked at today to try and determine how much money was coming back. A nearly impossible task. I couldn't find that much dedicated to the District 5 or the Lower Russian River. So I added in all the Measure L funds for the parks, recreation, fire and emergency services and roads, and it amounted to about 20%. So if we're generating 40% of the revenue and at a cost of 20%, I think it's a really good return on your investment. I live right in downtown Guerneville, and I run into a lot of the tourists. I have friends that operate some resorts. One of the things, this is the first year I've heard it, are some of our visitors say, what is happening to your town? I hear from the resort owners, people like to come for the event weekends year after year after year. They're hearing people say, I'm not coming back next year. So history is full of businesses that have failed because they did not reinvest. The auto industry failed, the steel industry failed. What I'm here today is to urge you to make fiscally sound decisions that encompass a multi-year outlook to the future. And Supervisor Zane looked for ways to increase revenue. And TOT is one way. Improve the areas where the tourists like to come, increase the revenue to our county. Thank you.
Sir, appreciate your time. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, appreciate your time. Steve Hertzberg, I'm gonna ask you to come up. I have Lou Stores